Definitely though, like to Kyle's point, like you want 5 watts. So when I got my 5 watt, I was like, I'm getting a beefy UV, like felt really good about the 5 watts that I was getting. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that like the 5 watts is the bare minimum. Really.
Okay.
3 watts would be really rough if I was trying to project over any kind of curved surface. It would be very, very difficult to do so. Your depth of field on the UV is significantly thinner than that on the fiber. So that extra wattage is crucial to getting around curves.
And do a couple lives here and there on the fly,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just 9 o'clock. You guys want to go ahead and?
Oh yeah, I already pushed the button. We're live.
Oh, you already did. Oh shit. Yep. Okay. Hey, there it is. 30 seconds. All right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, the #1 podcast. We're looking to grow or scale your laser business. Kyle and Boyce are here with me now. Jimmy is here in spirit. Something is happening over there. And, we're hanging out today. We don't have anything in particular that we're going to cover, but there's definitely some news. We definitely have some news. And, I don't know. Boyce, you wanted to, first and foremost, you wanted to cover shipping. Do you want to kick that off?
Yeah, I just want to talk about like different experiences people have had with shipping for small businesses at home. You got Parcel Monkey, USPS, different third parties that do shipping stuff. So I thought about maybe like walking through like what's people's experiences with different shipping methods. But yeah, I was talking to my USPS here locally about that, and they said I can order my supplies for free if you have an EIN number. If you have an LLC, you get free shipping supplies, tape, boxes, bubble wrap, the whole 9 yards, right? But you got to pay the USPS fees for shipping. So I think it's a win, because you don't have to pay for boxes. That's a huge cost to consider. And then you can actually set up online. They come to your house and pick up X amount of boxes at the certain dimensions, certain weight. You got to have a scale. So you got to buy a scale, a shipping label printer, and prepay that through their services. That's what I'm going to try and use that this season to see how that works out for me personally. I don't know anybody else's experiences without any others.
Really quick, I just want to let me present really fast. So this is I'm not an expert on this topic, but I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but Pirate Ship is dope. So you sign up and they give you apparently cheaper pricing than publicly available pricing. It's always been really cheap for me. I think usually they do it by volume instead of by weight, which is nice, especially for engraved stuff that tends to be small and heavy. Here's the back end. So here are some just different things that I've shipped. There's Kyle. And so I use this to ship literally everything, and you can create a label. You just fill out all of your information and you can get rates. So say we're doing a box and it's 12 by 12 by 5 and it weighs 1 pound and 3 ounces. And then we can go ahead and click get rates. And it's going to give us a bunch of different rates that we can pick from. And it handles all your tracking and stuff. So we can ship priority mail, but we can also drop this down. They'll do parcel select ground, and there's a bunch of UPS options. This is fairly new. They didn't always have UPS, so they added UPS in as well. So you can get your UPS shipping labels from here too. And once you pick one and you check out, you can print it right from here. And then you can track it all. You can import tons of addresses. If you have like a big list, you can export that list from Etsy and then import it into Pirate Ship and buy all of those labels at once, which is really nice. Yeah. And then you can track all of your stuff. If you're using a service like Etsy or whatever, you can copy the tracking and just dump it into like Etsy or Amazon or whatever else you're doing. It's really easy, and I like it. That's what I've been doing for a long time.
Well, my thing is I've never used anything, right? So for me, this is all new. And so I'm trying to absorb like USPS, I'm going to compare to Pirate Ship right off the gate to see like what's the best rates, and do they provide shipping supplies?
The supplies is the thing, right? So Lewis is asking, how much does Pirate Ship cost for the software? Nothing. Free. Costs nothing for everyone, period. Costs absolutely nothing.
So I could go do USPS to get free shipping boxes.
Yeah.
Can you
ship them with Pirate Ship? Yeah.
Pirate Ship.
Totally.
I like that dirty business right there. That's nice. Okay.
Yep, totally.
That might be good. The best way to go. Because
That's my shipping experience. Jimmy, are you with us yet?
I'm working on fixing them.
Okay, because he would just have so much to talk about on this topic. Jimmy,
so Alex, you did mostly like in-person stuff, right? At your workshop.
I mean, we had Etsy shop too. So we shipped enough, and a lot of the in-person customers would also like drop off and want their orders shipped back to them, so they didn't have to come back out. Like a lot of them would come from far away. Use ShipCaddy. I haven't used that one before, but that's another one to add to the list.
Yes,
for sure.
I'm gonna write that down. Yep. I'm saving all this stuff on my phone, guys. I'm gonna try it all out this weekend because I don't have to work this weekend for the first time in 2 months. I got the whole damn weekend off, so I'm gonna look at it all. Other thing is, I gotta set up my rotary on the Mira 9 this weekend. In preparation.
Did you get like the smart rotary from Eon with the? It's just like the little rollers on the two bars.
I got the basic one, but I got that 6 one coming next month. So
the multi-roller.
I'm gonna get the first one done right, so I can set the multi-roller and then do 6 at once. We'll see. I still think the Roto Boss is the way to go. So I might circle back to Roto Boss because he seems like he's got his shit together.
For sure. How can you engrave glass with a 30-watt fiber laser? You can't. You don't do that. Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
I've been trying to figure it out myself. I've been trying to work on this, guys, for like a week.
You have a mirror. Why the hell are you trying to do it on a fiber?
I have a CO2, but I haven't figured out the rotary yet. So I was like, okay, can I just do it here? So anyway, it's not happening. I got to go back to Mira, set up the thing this weekend, try and do some glasses. Yeah.
There are like hacky, cheaty ways to engrave glass with a fiber, but they suck and they're inconsistent. And I refuse to teach it. If you want to find out how to do that, there are other channels out there that will do it. I'm not doing a video on it because it sucks, and I'm not gonna, I don't.
It's a hacky method that is very easy to not get the desired outcome you want, and in some cases damage things and hurt yourself.
Yeah. Break glass or other things.
I know how Jimmy's junk is set up. Kyle, do you want to swap with me real quick?
Okay, what produces a deeper black on stainless steel CO2 with marking spray or fiber? I would say fiber because of the Z mark, right, Kyle?
You can go either way. The fiber will mark and engrave stainless, whereas the CO2 can only do so with Surmark or something similar.
So you guys get Surmark black laser marking spray here. I got. So you spray your whatever, be it glass or a stainless steel tumbler or whatever, or a Zippo, right? And you spray it on there, you laser engrave it, it actually penetrates that way. It doesn't remove the metal, it just puts it on top of it.
Yeah, it's a surface mark. You're getting a chemical reaction on the surface in order to change it black. Yes. There's a chemical reaction that occurs in the coating that leaves a mark behind. And then you rinse it off. Whereas a fiber, you can do so just by using the fiber. You don't need a coating or anything like that.
And the Z mark is another setting, and also in the Laser Master Academy is a Z mark setting, and also anneal. Anneal, you can't feel it; it's smooth. It's a chemical reaction on the surface. And Z mark is just a bold, deep black mark. Looks really nice.
And that's surface level as well.
Right. Yeah, right. We're not ablating the metal.
So I crack my glass all the time, but I have 100 watt. Yeah. So if you're using a CO2, for sure, effectively what you're doing with a CO2 laser when you're engraving glass is fracturing it.
Microfractures.
If you're coating it and hitting it with a fiber laser, you're generating heat and you can shatter the glass too, if you're not careful.
Mike asks, Kyle, how much is the UV laser you're testing? How much does it cost, the UV laser you're testing? 10 grand. They're really expensive.
UV lasers are expensive. They're more than like a CO2 galvo usually. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a little bit since I've looked at the paperwork.
I've looked at the cheapest ones, like 8. It's usually 8 to 10 is what I've seen. Like it's significant. Yeah. Like my 50 watt costs. Yeah, my 50 watt costs $6,500 shipping to my front door. But a UV you're talking close to 10.
All right.
Jimmy, can you hear us, brother?
What's going on, guys?
All right. Here we go.
A wild Jimmy appeared.
Good Lord Almighty. What's going on, guys?
Good deal.
We're talking about lasers and such.
Well, I would hope so.
You mark acrylic with the 20 watt fiber rachis. Only if it's a solid color and not clear. And even then, it's really not the right tool for the job. You're going to end up with a very melty mess.
You're going to want a CO2 or a diode. I'd say CO2, right? Like not a diode.
CO2 would be ideal.
Right. You can't
UV would be great too.
Yes. So yeah, get you a little mirror. Get you a Tech, whatever else. Oh wait, what's the one we got from Sacramento, right? What's her name? You just got one. Alex just got the one from
LightObject.
The Ranger, LightObject. Yes.
Yep.
Get you a CO2 LightObject. If you're gonna mark on.
We were talking about marking glass with the fiber, and now we're talking about marking acrylic with a fiber.
There's been questions in the comments.
I've seen people do some nice work on solid black opaque acrylic on the fiber laser.
That's what Kyle was saying.
If you're trying to mark like plexiglass, that's not gonna. Yeah, there you go. Jimmy's been doing it.
So the quote I got from to answer the last question from Mike, the UV that I have, the 5-watt JPT was, if I'm looking at the right paperwork, it was 7,100 door to door. So
700.
7,100. If it was 700, boy, I'd have like 10.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Jimmy, earlier we were talking about shipping and what the best way to ship is, and I was like, Jimmy would have a lot of input on this.
Pirate ship all the way.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what Alex said.
Absolutely.
Where do you get your like shipping materials and stuff? Because you ship pretty large items. Your signs are big. So how do you pack those and ship those?
Those all come from either. Well, you got Amazon, you got Uline for the boxes, and I researched it, and it's peas and apples. Either it's more money for each box from Amazon, but less shipping, or less money from Uline for the box, but more shipping. So it equals out. But Uline comes in a day. I mean, one day it's there, the next day. My bubble wrap all comes from Amazon. The shipping labels all come from Amazon. The machine came from Amazon. I mean, everything comes right from them.
Yeah. Okay. And your signs are pretty sensitive, like to scratches and stuff. So how are you actually packing them? You're not just chucking them in a box. Like
No.
Yeah. So
when I make the box first, and then
what do you mean you make the box?
Well, the box comes, folded.
Oh, right.
So you open the box up, you close the two ends, you close the bottom ends, and you tape it three strips on the top, 3 strips on the bottom. So you do the bottom box first, you tip it upside down, and then you take your sign once it's all done, and you just wrap it.
Right.
There's 6 times per side, front and back. I go through a lot of bubble wrap.
Yeah, but it gets the job done.
Yep, it gets the job done, and then you put the power supplies in there and the hooks and everything, and I haven't had a problem since I started putting them in those boxes.
Because you used to. I remember you used to have shipping problems all the time.
The envelopes, the white envelopes, yeah. The process is okay, but man, once it goes through the system,
there's not enough protection.
Yeah, there's not enough protection. Plus, if it goes USPS, it goes through the system, and then the weight of it and the size of it will go with another box, with a USPS box that people can put 50 pounds in each box. So my sign weighs 5 pounds, where it goes to the system, goes to the chute, and some guy sending 2 rotors to his son out in Utah and comes over the top of it and smash.
Right.
So, but with these boxes, I haven't had a problem since.
So when you log into Pirate Ship, are you buying USPS labels or are you buying UPS labels?
Depends. Right now, when you go on, there's a fight between them two now, which is great because it's awesome because they battle each other. And now, now it's cheaper with this guy. And when you do your label and you go in there and you click on, tell me how much it's going to be, it automatically gives you the cheapest price. So if USPS is cheaper, that will be the first number that comes up. If it's USPS, then that'll be the first one that comes up.
Do you find they're making it to the customers more or less the same, integrity when they get dropped off?
There's some differences between the two, and USPS seems sometimes might be a little shoddy when they're shipping and stuff, but now they're actually faster than UPS now. And when you kind of don't know what's going on, but I ship to Canada, if it says UPS, I just skip it and pay the extra money for the USPS, because whenever you do UPS, it craps out about 10 stickers and you got to sign each one. And then one goes on the top of the box, one has to go in the box, and then the other 12 got to go in that sticky thing that goes in the envelope on the outside of the box.
Yeah.
And then I have to send, well, Jen takes them to work because they have a UPS drop off. And then once it gets to Canada, it stops. And then I get a notice saying I have to pay the whatever duty fees for it. And I'm like, well, why didn't I? It never happened before. I pay what they tell me, and then it goes right to the customer.
Yeah.
So now I don't even use UPS when I go through Canada. I just use USPS. It's one sticker, you plop it on, and away it goes.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to. Jimmy does more shipping than I think the three of us combined now. So definitely wanted your input on that topic.
Well, something else to consider is UPS is actually going through a strike possibly this winter.
It's all good to me. It's fine, because now that'll let them battle and say, hey, I'll give you cheaper prices. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's good for us, but it could delay shipping possibly.
It could. That's why just stay with USPS is what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a live stream of like just setting that. I haven't set an account up yet with Pirate Ship or something.
Oh, I'll help you.
So I might actually do a video on like how to set it up. I might just do that this weekend.
Yeah.
And just black out my pertinent information.
Yeah.
But something just to show people how to walk through that. Let's see here. Eric says, is it worth buying the UV upgrade? I have a 10-watt X tool diode.
There's a UV upgrade for the X tool?
Maybe they mean the 1064 module.
That would be a fiber upgrade then. Let us know what you're referring to there, Eric, and we'll be happy to loop back.
Yeah, UV is a huge upgrade from anything.
Yeah.
Because it can mark anything you got, you know.
So it's a huge cost increase as well. Barrier entry.
Alex, people are asking how much is the UV that Cal is using to review.
I responded to that.
Oh,
yeah, it was Okay. Kyle's was like 7,100. The Mactron is a bit more.
Because I paid 6,500 for my fiber. A UV is only like another $1,000.
That UV is only another $1,000.
That UV, yes.
Yeah, and UV isn't something you want to underspend on either. I would say the one that Kyle got is like the floor for the absolute floor.
Because we also wouldn't recommend going to like a 3-watt either, because you're just going to be stuck with such a small lens.
Yeah. So the Mactron, which we would consider this like top tier, 3-watt air cooled with the 110 lens is 7,300, and then of course you're going to pay shipping and import tax on that as well.
Yep.
And then the 5-watt, and these are both air cooled, is 9,100 plus shipping and import tax on that too. So
I got a question for you, Alex and Kyle specifically. If you guys could start all over, and you had one UV laser you want to start with, what would the one you wish you could like had the resources that was like entry level enough to get the job done? What would you recommend for people that are just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going all in on UV, let's go? Like, which one do you think is like the best bang for your buck?
Like a brand or like just a configuration?
Or just whatever works. Like a certain wattage, certain work size, field size.
I would say like a 5-watt with like the 175 ones that Alex is working with. You can get either the JPT Lark series air-cooled if you don't care about that and you want to go water-cooled. Sometimes there's a price difference and you can save money going one way or the other, but then you got to account for the chiller cost too. So you're going to have to kind of balance that into the budget. But the Ingu source, what's the designation on that?
The Grace X.
The Grace X. And I think that comes both air-cooled and water-cooled too, right?
The Grace X, the Grace series is the water-cooled series. The Grace X series is the air-cooled, I believe, if I recall correctly.
With the JPT, the Lark is the air-cooled, the Seal is the water-cooled.
Right. Definitely, though, like to Kyle's point, like you want 5 watts. So when I got my 5-watt, I was like, I'm getting a beefy UV. Like it felt really good about the 5 watts that I was getting. And it turns out that like the 5 watts is the bare minimum. Really.
Okay.
3 watts would be really rough if I was trying to project over any kind of curved surface. It would be very, very difficult to do so. Your depth of field on the UV is significantly thinner than that on the fiber. So that extra wattage is crucial to getting around curves And of course, you can use a rotary, I suppose, if you wire a roller rotary up, but you're not going to be rotating glasses with a chuck. You have to be really smart about how you go about this. I would recommend projecting. It's so much faster. You just need the wattage to back it up. And 5 watts on that 175. The 175 gets you the depth of field that you would get on like a 70 on the fiber. It's very thin. So, I mean, even a larger lens, right? Like even if I wanted to go to 200, 220 or 250, I don't know if I could push that on the 5 watt.
You're reaching the limits potentially, depending on what material you're trying to mark.
What lens do you want, Kyle?
I have a 150. I have as you know, I was having a really hard time doing a small project mark, right? Mm-hmm. So I was looking at maybe going to the 175 because you were able to get away with it without refocusing. But then I saw some people were getting away with a 210. So I was thinking about giving it a go, but I'm still on the fence because it's, I don't know.
A 10 watt would be better.
Yeah. If you're looking at going bigger lenses or you're looking at project mark, definitely go 10 watt or potentially like the 12 watt Ingu or something.
Yep.
So how much is a 10 watt UV laser, like base, like kind of like average? What would you guys say?
Probably double that.
Yeah, you're probably looking at like $15,000.
Okay. That's significant.
Yeah.
I mean, just the cost of a 12 watt Ingu source, I think, is like 15 grand.
Yeah, and the
without the rest of the machine.
Right.
The thing about UVs too is that they are impermanent machines. They are not like CO2s or fibers where you can swap a tube or like change a power supply and they'll run for 100,000 hours. The UV beam, the ultraviolet beam, is created by starting with a fiber laser. It's the same diode pumped fiber laser that your fiber laser runs through, and then that fiber laser beam is filtered down. So every time it passes through these special crystal filters, it halves the wavelength until you get to 355. And once you get to 355, now you're ultraviolet. But those filters wear down over time. And
they're not user replaceable.
And they're not user replaceable. So when that eats it, you're buying a new source. And again, the source is the majority of the machine. I've heard reports of like 4 to 5 years on the filters if you're doing like 8 hours a day. So if you're not running the machine 8 hours a day, you might see longer times than that. But that's certainly not the like 10 to 15 years you're getting out of a fiber for a lower investment, right? So it's a higher cost, not just up front, but long term as well, because your dollars per hour that you're putting into that machine to even have it existing on the table in the first place is like 3 times higher on the UV. So
I'd be interested in breaking that down like Excel wise, like, okay, X amount of hours is the average, X amount of dollars to replace it. Like how long does it take to break even versus,
and what's it costing per hour in just degradation
usage?
Right. Yep. How much does it cost to even use it, period?
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that type of information to say, okay, if I'm going to buy a 10 watt, if I plan on running these parts this often, how long can I plan on that? And like, okay, what's my overall cost? I should be computing into my cost of running a material, running a job too, That's a lot to consider.
Just looping back to another question. So Eric was asking about the UV module. So I took a look at the Xtool site, and I'm only seeing their infrared module, which is the 1064 wavelength. That's the fiber one.
Right. Fiber one. It's not fiber, by the way. But
it's not a true fiber laser.
Quote unquote fiber one. Yeah.
It's the wavelength that the fiber works on. So you'll be able to have an easier time marking on metal. The 10 watt standard D1 module, which is a 10 watt.
455.
Yep. You have a 20 watt, and as of right now, that's it on their accessories page.
Yeah.
And their machines page matches that. So I'm not sure.
455 nanometers is not ultraviolet. That's blue. That's blue light.
355?
355 is UVA. Yeah. That's our UV source.
That's our wavelength. So just to differentiate that, I don't know if maybe they're launching a new product, but I don't see it.
We got another question here from Lift Salty. When might it be worth it to spend the extra money on a fiber laser with an IPG source? All else being equal, is the bump in quality noticeable?
I am the only person here who's used an IPG source, and I would say no. I actually think I get better consistency and usability out of the JPTs over the IPGs. For you guys who don't know, IPG is the owner of Raycus, and it's a German company. So Raycus is a subsidiary, if I remember correctly, or like there's some kind of ownership connection there. But that's like that German engineering, like high quality, top tier brand from Europe. The IPG sources are 4 times as expensive as the Chinese sources. And I used one for 5 years, and I couldn't tell you the difference between that and the JPT, honestly. The Chinese ones are just as good, if not better. So I don't think so. I wouldn't spring on the IPG source if it was me. They're nice because
cost-wise, you're talking almost double, right?
Yeah,
just the source.
At least. And the IPG sources used to be the only ones on the market a long time ago that had the JPT frequency range, where you're getting frequencies in the hundreds. We had the IPG source that we had only went up to like 400 kilohertz, which there are not a lot of use cases above that. But, even in like by today's standards, I don't know what they're putting out these days, but they're expensive and very likely unnecessarily so. I really, honestly, I think this is an area where China has the technology edge. So I would probably stick with them just because they know the sources really well, and they're constantly pumping out improvements and new products. And this is an area where I feel like they're really knowledgeable and actually have like unique and original designs that are outpacing that coming from other parts of the world. So that's just my opinion. That's based on absolutely nothing. That's just an opinion. So don't take it
adding into that, I'm going to say too that you now have another player in the market with GZ Tech where you have some employees allegedly who might have worked for JPT are now using their expertise to make a more cost-effective and usable product, right?
Yep.
So there's a potential opportunity depending on, obviously we haven't tested it yet, but.
And on top of that, Raycus is starting into MOPAs now. So Raycus is starting to put out MOPA lasers. Max has improved dramatically since the last time I looked at Max sources. They're really starting to up their game. They know they're the crappy source. You know what I mean? And they don't want to be the crappy source anymore, the Walmart source. They're starting to put out better products. Their product line is like constantly changing and evolving, and their engineers over there are working constantly. I think IPG is kind of like used to being the best, and I just don't see a lot of innovation there. That doesn't mean it's not happening. I don't keep up on it every day. I'm not like reading, photonics news every day, but the general sense I get from what I see on the market would tell me that China's really a step ahead right now, and I would probably stick with a high quality Chinese source is probably your best option.
The guy from LightObject might be a good another source for that. Be like, hey, this is the difference. Like he knows that shit inside and out. What's his name again? Marco, man. Like, talk about some of Vet's things. He's vetted everything over there. In China. Wowzers.
So Eric responded with, I'm sorry, it's the IR one. Is IR worth it?
I don't know. I asked him for one.
The IR one? I asked him for the fiber one.
Yeah, IR.
Yeah, so he has the fiber one. You have the 10 watt, don't you?
That's not the fiber one.
No, you have the standard 10 watt IR one.
That's not IR. That's blue. That's visible light.
Oh.
Yeah, the 10 watt and 20 watt are 455 nanometer. They're blue light diode lasers. Right. The IR one would be the 1064 one. And I asked them for it, and they said, sure, and then didn't ship it, which is what they did. Remember how long ago they told me they were going to send me an X-Tool when the X-Tool D1 was just the X-Tool D1 before the Pro even came out. And then it took them from the time the X-Tool D1 was released until the Pro was released for them to get back to me about the D1. And then I had to talk them into sending me a Pro instead. It was like a whole thing. So I don't know when I'm going to get one. Hopefully they'll shoot one over soon. I'm not paying for it, so I'm not complaining, but I haven't been able to look at it yet, and I can't vouch for its effectiveness. I don't know. It could be, what do other YouTubers have to say about it? I'm sure everybody else gets shit before me. I was the last person to get shit, so.
Were the Or the Walmart of laser channels? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I guess, dude. Shit.
That said, right? So, well, to be fair, we're also kind of just diving into diodes this year. So there have been other channels who have been doing diode laser content forever. We're more well known for our galvos and even then
Fiber.
still secondary CO2 and then diode.
Yeah, but we'll see.
So what's everybody working on right now? What's your next big thing you guys are working on? What can people expect from us?
I've got lasered episode 3, the Samsung Galaxy S22, downloaded and ready to edit. I have Jimmy and my unboxing of the LightObject 800-watt chiller. That was a good one. Remember that one, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode. And then Jimmy's got a new episode coming out on the LightObject Air Assist, which we're going to be cutting together pretty soon.
Love that thing.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, Jimmy? Give us a little sneak preview on that.
Well, I have the other one over here. That's basically what it looks like. It's been modded. I just made this shorter because that way, if you come up close to the front of the machine, it's not going to bang in the machine, which it did once before. So I shortened it up.
Why would I use this over the regular through the nozzle air assist? What are you getting from this?
Well, I got mine setting so good now with my 100-watt ohm tech. With this air assist, it's like translucent. There's no depth to it at all. I mean, when you run it.
What material are you using this on?
Acrylic.
We gotta say it out loud. Yeah, cool.
Cast acrylic.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and there is a significant difference with the external air assist. Even if you go straight through the nozzle, you're going to get more depth with the same setting as I use with the external. Okay. And
in this case, you don't want depth. You're not going for depth.
You do not want depth when you're trying to laser it. Okay, if you're going to light it up, you don't want any depth. Plain and simple. If you're going to just do a plaque or something like that, then I won't use the external. I'll go right through the nozzle because you're going to get more of that burn, the
like ablation.
Yeah, the ablation. So it does get it whiter, but it has depth.
Right.
And I tried monkeying with it, and I can't get rid of the depth.
I don't think we've actually talked about this, but is the reason that you don't want the depth because the deeper it is, the more light it eats up on the light? So So basically what happens is you've got your LED strip at the top of the sign, and then the light travels down the sign and lights up stuff that has been marked into the surface. But if your engraving is super deep, more of that light is being blocked on the way down, so the bottom appears very dim.
Correct.
Whereas if you do a very shallow kind of just surface marking on the acrylic, the light is able to travel all the way down to the bottom of the sign, so you get better transmission of the light on it.
Correct. And it's translucent. I told you back in the day when I went and visited Epilogue. Yes.
At the Epilogue place. Yeah, I remember you went over there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it kind of got me going. And I said I wanted to make it that good with mine, and I finally did. There's literally, when you rub your hand over the top of it, the part that you cut, it almost seems embossed, not flat, not cut in, but embossed. That's how good that works.
Yeah. Cool. And you show installation, you cover, what are we going to see in that video?
You're going to see, I'm going to explain it to you what it is, what it looks like, and then what it does for me, and how you set it up.
You'll be able to see it like in use.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. And then I'll show you the difference between the two. Like I'll start an image, and then I'll stop it halfway, pause it, and pull the hose out and put it on the external, and then let it continue running.
Nice, so that you can actually see the difference on one project.
That's good.
And it's really hard though, because like I said, got my settings so good, but the only way you can tell when you look at it when I showed it in the picture is there's more dust through the nozzle. But
because you're not having the air pushing that out of the way, so you have to clean more often.
Yep. And the way this pushes it across, you can watch the dust. As it's going, it's pushing the dust away from your cutting. So it's constantly going to be away from your cutting when you're cutting it.
Right.
That's because it's coming at an angle, right?
Yeah.
A 90-degree angle straight back. And don't get it too close to the nozzle either. You can tend to melt it real fast. Just saying.
Jimmy and I also unboxed the Off-Ferro Laser 2 from Ortur. So I've got that in the edit pile.
That's a really cool diode.
Jimmy's currently working on a soldering tutorial, so he'll be showing you how to like do soldering the Jimmy way. So we've got that down the pipe too, and then Kyle's got a whole mess. What do you got coming down the pipe, Kyle?
So I have another Lightburn for Gantry crash course episode coming out. I have the diode review that I've been working on the Perger LaserStorm L5 Pro. So I finally finished up testing on that. So that'll be next in the edit tube. And then I have hopefully some project episodes mixed in. And I have to check out, I want to share the 100-watt laser that I picked up and then never got a chance to show everybody because we haven't done a live stream on it yet. Yeah. So I'm probably going to push a live stream in sometime this weekend or early next week, depending on scheduling. Yeah, maybe some point. But so that'll happen. And then I got to start doing some more testing on that. And I'm probably going to get some UV testing in too.
The busy boy. Jimmy, your jacket on the mic.
Oh, sorry. It's cold, man. I'm cold.
You see other hands.
You got your
other hands.
Yeah, but that's
you
what
look
it looks
like. You're ready to climb across the Arctic over there.
I'm ready to, man.
Emily's here. Hi, Emily.
What up? What up?
Hello.
And so another kind of, I guess, mini announcement. You guys aren't going to be able to run off and go engage in this right away, but let me pull it up.
Well, you're pulling that up.
Thank you.
I did see a question in chat. LightObject does have, there we go. Mike C said, I saw a fiber laser on LightObject site that looks like that Makira. So it's similar. It's an all-in-one form factor. The difference between that one and this one is I haven't taken a look at that one. But number two is...
Big difference.
It's a big difference. It's like an on and an off switch, right? I haven't checked that one out. But the difference too is the Makira comes with a tower that you can articulate the head this way as well. And you can also rotate the entire head off the fiber table. So if, for example, you wanted to engrave the top of an enormous machine, right? Or the face of it where it's vertical and you can't lay it down because it's heavy, you can articulate the laser head perfectly upright, vertical, and you can even rotate it this way. So it's away from the laser completely and mark the face of something that way. I'm guessing Marco could probably get something similar to that tower if you wanted to order from LightObject instead. You would probably just have to call and ask them about it.
I'm sure Marco knows where to find it.
I am positive Marco knows where to find something like that.
But Wisely's great too. We like Calio.
Yes. So you have options. I also don't know what kind of source that LightObject is using. These ones are very specific to Raycus. So you have a 20, a 30, and a 50-watt Raycus option. I don't know what LightObject uses.
The last I talked to them, I think they were on JPTs, but I'm not sure. We would have to confirm that.
The last time I looked, I think those were coming in 20, 30, and 50-watt options from LightObject too. So that would be probably the LP source if it was JPT.
Kyle, this one's for you, bro. What's the best diode laser out there right now?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Kind of depends on the price range you want to stay within and what you want to accomplish with it. If you want something that's portable, you can literally break it down, throw it in a backpack with like one bolt and be on your way and do something on the go kind of thing. The AL1 is a 200 by 200, right?
Yeah, it's 180.
Thereabouts.
180 square.
So the Artur AL1 is a good option for that, as well as I checked out the Atom Stack P7.
I would say P7 if you want faster run times and a little less detail, and the AL1 if you want slower run times and a little more detail, because I think the AL1's got a good bit smaller dot size than what I saw from the Atom Stack video.
Potentially. I didn't do any metals with mine, so I can't really test to see if it did it like the anneal effect. So I can't really contribute to that, but I can go back and check that at some point. If you want something with a bigger surface area, as far as what we've tested so far, like a 400 by 400 millimeter, review pending. The Perger L5 Pro is pretty nice, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with it. It is not a super powerful machine. You're not getting like a 20 watt unit, 20 watt output.
Is it a 5.5?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, I'm super impressed with it. So up until this point, the smallest dot size I've worked with on a diode has been the P7 actually. And I think I was working with, when I was doing photos, somewhere in the 280 dots per inch range, if memory serves. This one I was doing like 340 I think. It is a 400 by 400. So if you're not concerned about space, that would be my recommendation in terms of the bigger square footage. What do you think about the one you worked with so far?
The only one that I've actually had out of the box at that size and played with is the LaserMaster 2 Pro from Ortur. And it's fine, but there's better stuff out now. It's outdated for sure. You know, it's starting to show its age. It's a great standby and it's inexpensive at like $400 or whatever. You know, when you're comparing it to an X tool, they still sell it. It's meant to be sold alongside the LaserMaster 3. You know, it's not replacing it. The LaserMaster 3 that I have at the shop, it looks very promising, though it's like $200 to $300 more. And then, of course, you have the X-Tool D1 Pro, and everybody loves the X-Tool. It's not acclaimed for no reason, right? People like it for a reason. We just did the unboxing for that, which you can check out on the channel. That's all we've done so far is unboxed it. It's literally still sitting in pieces underneath that diode desk. So I haven't even put it together yet. So more pending on coming from that too. Chris also has the Atezer, which is kind of like the knockoff X tool. And Chris sent me a photo. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Did you guys just do a live stream of him assembling it? Unboxing it?
Yeah, we did 2 live streams. We did an unboxing and the assembly part 1, and then we did assembly part 2 and the first cuts in use. I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see this. Let me actually download it instead of opening it in Slack.
I just sent it to you.
Can you pull it? Can you throw that up for me? So here is Chris's first ever photo marked with the Atezer, which is pretty freaking good. I mean, like you can see the text down here is actually like legible. And this is his first photo ever. I feel like that looks pretty great.
Yeah.
It's
So
like 5x9 maybe?
What?
Is that 5x9 surface?
Yeah, I'd say like maybe a little smaller.
Smaller than that.
6 by 6. Yeah, 4x6. That's about 4x6. Yeah, and not bad, especially
pretty good detail for size.
It looks like pretty soft, like pine, you know, or balsa or whatever, which has a lot of burnout too on the detail when you're trying to do it. So, I mean, this was impressive. He's really proud of this. So,
should be, man.
Yeah,
I'm proud of him. He did a great job.
Especially for your first photo on wood, right? This is what I'm always telling you, Jimmy. Stop messing around with photos on wood in the CO2. Because if Chris can do this on the first try without like really knowing what he's doing, man, diodes are made for this. This is their calling. But yeah, so he's really liking the Atezer so far, which came with the 10 watt, but it also comes with a 20 watt. And they have a combo set you can get for like $850 that comes with a rotary and an air assist unit all built in. And the air assist unit isn't one of those fish tank ones. It's like a nice one. And it looks really promising. It looks like a really promising little piece of kit. I was very skeptical when he reached out to me at first because it seems fake.
Yeah.
You know?
Here's the interesting thing about when you're engraving on wood, right? Especially photos. It's very sensitive to DPI because if you go too deep, you end up overburning lines. You end up washing everything out by overburning it. And with wood, you're actually burning outward sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you're causing little fires, and those little fires spread.
Yeah. So if you go too deep, it's kind of just turning it into a little kindling fire at the corner of your work area.
Making your lines fatter than they need to be.
That's part of the reason why when I do photo testing, I do it on wood for a review, because it gives me an indication of a real, tangible, visible outcome of what that dot size represents and what you can achieve after you've tuned in your settings and you're doing it on a very sensitive piece of material.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic, Boyce just had this up. Emily says, please make more videos on photo engraving on CO2. We can, just the way I know how to do it, which I would consider the right way, without like weird tricks and contrast and spending a bunch of time in Photoshop or buying weird like image prep software. When you're doing a pixel grid and you're trying to do a technically correct photo, they have to be big. On the CO2. They just have to be big because your dot size on the CO2 is so much bigger than any of these other lasers that we cover on Laser Everything. And that means your pixels are going to be bigger. And that means you need to do large photos in order to fit those pixels in to resolve a nice image. And I mean, frankly, that just sucks. Like you gotta measure. Kyle's got a Cora back there from Tron, and that
it's a 2 foot by 3 foot.
that's a stellar looking image, but it's because it's freaking 2 feet by 3 feet.
Well, guys, I'll tell you this. Me and my girlfriend, this is our very first photo engraving right here of her cousin. This is only on like maybe like 5x9 piece of wood with the mirror, CO2.
You did that on the CO2?
Yeah. So like it's possible. We watched your video, Alex, on photo and worked on the DPI. Right. Really made the big difference is tweaking the DPI and the
lines per inch.
Dots per inch. But the what's the other thing? The
dot width.
Yeah, the width. Yeah. So
the dot width adjustment. That's
so key. We ran it like 4 or 5 different settings. When we got to this setting, it's like, okay, this is perfect. Like I guess the shadowing looks good and it looked like the picture. So like it is possible.
Yeah, that looks really good, boys.
I might really actually do a video on this, like nice. how she did this. I mean, I was super happy about this.
What was that on?
Birch.
It was solid, like hardwood birch, or is it like birch ply?
Birch ply, man.
Yeah, that's impressive. They come out better on hardwoods too. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Everybody wants to do it on ply or balsa or birch. Get a hardwood, man. If you do your photo engraving on a hardwood instead of a soft like ply or like construction wood, your results are going to be so much better because those hardwoods don't burn out. Like,
and you're not going to get you don't need as much horsepower because the depth, you won't get the depth.
Well, yeah,
like wood with balsa.
But it's also the burn of those individual lines of pixels doesn't spread out and grow. Because they don't burn out.
Like that pulpwood. It's pulpy.
So you can get
soft.
Finer DPIs, on hardwoods. But this, I mean, still, if you can do it on this, boys, then that's that's impressive.
So you can see this here up in the hairline areas where it gets real tricky. It's that conversion from a burn to just light, very nothing here. So that's the hard part, is getting that to smoothly work out, but like I said, we've done it 5 times. So it worked. You just got to find, every laser is different, and you got to just play with the settings and go up like 2% at a time and kind of tweak it. Because what I did is, okay, this is too light, this is too dark, somewhere in the middle is the truth. So we just said, okay, this is too light, and we just kept working our way into the middle, and we found something that's really reasonable. And like you said, on a plywood, it wasn't even like a hardwood yet. Just something we want to just make as a gift, and it was really, I was quite pleased with that results. For us being first timers, honestly, it's our first thing we ever did. So it was like, I was impressed with what she did.
Yeah.
And your video helped explain the science of it. Like, that really makes a difference, the why.
Yeah. Right. And so Love's asking, is it best to begin with a black and white photo? So we don't actually mark raster images via my photo method. When everything is said and done, we're marking bitmaps. Whether you're starting with a color photo or a black and white photo or whatever else, it's going to end up being you're going to end up with black and white pixels on a grid at the end of the day.
Yeah, ones and zeros.
The laser everything method, at least. So kind of irrelevant for the way we do things. It may be different if you're marking an actual raster image with pixels. That could be, in like shades of gray and stuff. That we don't get into that at all. We're literally making a pixel grid and using that pixel grid to represent the image. So that's, I went ahead and dropped that link to the complete photo engraving guide, where we talk about why we do it that way and how we get it done. So if you guys are curious on marking on different materials, photographs, that's the video you want to watch. It applies to every kind of laser. It applies to diode, fiber, CO2, CO2 galvos, CO2 gantry, every kind of laser that guide applies to, and you can use the knowledge that you get from that video to start getting good photos with your laser marking machine. So definitely check that out as well.
And my suggestion is, guys, watch it without even trying to do nothing. Just watch it once. Because if you try to play along as it goes, you can get lost in the mix. Just watch it once, then be like, okay, now I know where to stop. Sometimes you'll stop and you do a tweak, but you haven't really heard the whole reasoning why.
Right.
It really makes a difference to listen to the whole thing start to finish. It's like
understanding the reason why you're doing each thing is part of the importance.
You've said that a couple times now, Boyce, and I really specifically about this episode. I think that's a great strategy for everything we have on the channel. Honestly,
watch it first.
Just watch it once, and then watch it again and try to start reproducing things that you see in the video, I think you would absorb a lot more that way. We're almost out of time today, but I do have one last thing that I want to mention to you guys. So we are starting a new podcast. We've got another podcast coming up. I know Boyce is like, what? Yeah. So this new podcast, guys, it's called Emergency Stop. Okay. And we're actually recording the first episode tonight. And Emergency Stop is going to be when the Laser Everything crew needs to back away from work for a minute. We're going to turn our lasers off and we're just going to chill and talk about life instead. Things that are interesting us, things that are bothering us, things that got us down, things that got us excited, just what's going on in our lives as human beings instead of laser instructors. So, every once in a while you need to smash that e-stop and just walk away from work for a little bit. That first episode will be recorded tonight after this is done. If you're interested in hearing this, it's going to be audio only. So there will not be uploads to YouTube. You won't see it on YouTube. You'll have to keep an eye out for it on the podcast services. If you are subscribed anywhere to Laser Everything updates, whether that's Facebook, Discord, the social media, whatever, you're going to see updates when we get the first episode up. I'd love to get it up tonight. Maybe. I don't know. But, we'll see. This is the reason you haven't heard about this, Boyce. We literally threw this together at the very last minute here. It was just like we just pulled it out of thin air. So
I was like, we? What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got that to look forward to. I don't know. I assume most of the people that watch our show probably don't care about us. I know that sounds harsh, but I'm not personally offended by that. But some people might want a deeper look into just us hanging out and wish that we goofed off more and had more fun. If that's what you want, we're gonna have that for you. Anyway,
light speed laser engraving. I can't. My comments are really thin. I don't know how to make them bigger. They got small. They're tiny, so it's hard for me to even read them.
You're such an old man.
No, I'm serious. It's small.
Okay.
As a side note, just 2 seconds on the photos with the CO2. One thing that could help with that is using a compound lens, and that is something I'm probably going to investigate here in a little bit. Most people start out with a 2-inch or a 2.5-inch lens.
A compound
Very
lens
few people start out with a 1.5.
It's 2 CO2 focusing lenses.
Okay.
Put together.
Very specific kind of.
Okay, I have a 2-inch and a 4-inch.
It supposedly gives you a smaller dot size, but we've not done any testing on that in any official capacity on the channel. So
if you're looking for more detail, that might be the resolution, and I'm hoping to get a video on that at some point in the future with testing.
I think I asked you about that like 6 months ago.
We did, but we also found out that my laser head is not, at least the way it's set up right now, is not compatible with that lens setup. So
figures
to be continued, but that can contribute to a smaller dot size. It's not just two of any lenses. It's 2 very specific types of lenses kicked together.
Is that something I can order through the Mira for the Mira?
No idea.
We don't know. We haven't done enough research on it yet. Well, we will circle back around on that topic after we do a little fidangling.
Gotcha.
On that. Anybody else got anything before we close out for the night?
Oh man, I'm ready for the weekend.
What a rough start to today's episode, but strong finish. I think we closed out nicely, and that's the end, I suppose. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys, if you got value out of this episode of the Laser Source Podcast, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time we post an episode. You can support the channel over at masters.lasereverything.net if that's something you're interested in. We're really close to 2,500 LMA members. Like I think it's like 2,498 right now. Like you could be the 2,500th. That's immense. We have immense. Have you ever thought about that? The immense support that we have from the community is just unreal and unfathomable.
You should give a free shirt away to the 2,500 person.
Yeah, maybe. And we are very strongly backed by the community, and it shows. Jack in the shop going to join LMA as soon as I find my wallet. Thank you, bro. Good luck on the hunt.
Thank you.
$24.99.
Pick up some merch. We got a nice merch spread here on the shop tonight, and keep an ear out. Remember, audio only for the first episode of Emergency Stop. If you want to hear about what we're doing when we're not trying to blind ourselves. So just a little something, a little extra fun, a little something non-work related. I think we all need to take a break every once in a while, and I'm really looking forward to that personally. Just something a little fun and off topic. So awesome. Keep an eye out for that too. And that's all I've got, guys. So thank you so much for watching this or listening to this episode of the Laser Source Podcast, and we will see you in the next one.